Well, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome to Can't Catch a Break. I'm DJ and Dr. Sharp. She's out working on other projects. And today I have another one topic. It's dealing with the last days. What is the science of the last days or end times? Are we living in the last days? We hear about Bible prophecies. We hear about different things and wars, rumors of wars. Even in Luke 21, chapter the 7th verse, it talks about the signs of the last days. Sure, war in the Bible is in Matthew 24 and 7. It does talk about war, nation rising up against nations and kingdoms against kingdoms. And even in the book of Revelation, in the 6th chapter, 4 verses, about the horsemen, meaning warfare. Taking peace away from the earth. Yeah, we're seeing this right now with Israel and Ukraine. We see it's happening right now. We see other countries in the Middle East trying to get involved in the war of Israel. Another thing, famine. Famine is another one that's been foretold. Jesus foretold again in Matthew again, and in Revelation talks about famine. If you read that in the 6th chapter of Revelation also, because right now we are in the last days. I'm talking slow because I want people to understand that for those that are listening, that these are the last days. And don't get me wrong, because this is the truth. We are in the last days. The signs of the times are here. The great falling away is here. There's an uprising taking place. The evilness and the murder. It's everything out here now that's sinful. Earthquakes. And you see in Matthew 24 and Luke the 21st chapter, it talks about earthquakes around the world, a lot of suffering, loss of life. We've been getting earthquakes, in LA, California. We've been seeing it happen more frequently now overseas. Like in Hong Kong, or you see Japan earthquakes. Yes, the Lord is letting people know that I'm coming back, and be prepared. Be prepared. Make preparation. I'm coming back. 2,000 years ago. Okay, that's 2,000 years ago. Now, we are at the forefront right now of Jesus' return. Diseases. He talks about that pestilence and epidemics. Terrible diseases. We had the COVID-19, and we had diseases before that. We had polio, and we had a lot of been having a lot of diseases now, and it still is here. But we know they ain't from God. We know it's of the devil. So we know the enemy would love to see everyone die if he can. The thief in John 10:10 it talks about. But we see that happening now. It's taking place right now. A lot of sickness, a lot of death is taking place. There's so many people are dying right now, young and old. I mean, it's like it's just death everywhere now. We gotta pray. crime. Okay, and look at the crime that's happening now. It's increasing the lawlessness of the land, even when it comes to the White House right now. Our legislators, the congressmen, when it comes to getting assault rifles banned because people are killing. They seem to not care because you got organizations like the NRA, National Rifle Associations, are lobbying for the congressman, senator to not pass laws to restrict gun laws. I mean, to ban weapons. When we see crime, people are getting shot down. People are really just out here killing like never before. Uh, we see it's increasing the lawlessness of land, the minds, the people minds. Some are just um, mental and evil, and it's happening at a great rate right now. You hear it all over the world right now. What's taking place in Revelation, the 11th chapter. It was told that man will, they will be ruining the earth. They're ruining the earth, y'all. Man is ruining the earth. And you see what's happening right now. You see the laws that's been enacted, abortion, like that same-sex marriage. And, see the laws that's been taking place. The things that God is against. The thing that God is against. But it's man in so many ways. Corrupt actions, bringing harm. Like we had one president said that he don't believe in climate control, and that preserving the land, helping the land. So you got corruption, the actions, a man from the White House, laws, kickback, bribes, the local and state. We see it happening, in the system. But in the judicial system, we see where if you got money and you commit a major crime, you can get out. You can get set free. We see it in the White House. We see how mankind, how they just right now are ruining part of the earth with what they're doing right now. Politicians, look what's happening. Look at the fighting among each other. And it just been the pride of man. And, then you talk about the attitudes. Let's talk about the attitudes. Well, we have attitudes, okay? All right, deteriorating attitudes. I say that because we see it in the church. We see out of the church. We see how the Bible talks about it. Second Timothy, the 3rd chapter, it talks about the unthankful, the disloyal, the slanders, without self-control. It talks about that. Without love, goodness, betrayers, headstrong, puffed up in pride. And believe it or not, we see it in and out of the church. And we got to pray. We see the leaders of the church. We see some of them are full of pride, puffed up, headstrong. I mean, and believe me, God is not going to let no one perish. He's concerned about you. And we as Christians must see that and pray for those leaders that get full of pride, and because there's a lot of souls here at stake. There's people that are attending churches, and there's a lot of false prophets, um, that's rising up, cults, and there's many things that's happening. Witchcraft. There's so many denominations right now that are misleading, false doctrines, false teachers. We better be aware of the attitudes they bring behind it. Everything now is about money. The mega churches, it's more entertainment and selling. Like Jesus said, "My house shall be called the house of prayer." He went to turn over tables and all that stuff, putting people out of the temple. And we see the disloyalty right now of how the churches are not reverencing God's house, how the people some are not reverencing God's house. They don't fear God. They are unthankful. Okay, they are doing it and out of pride, being puffed up. They are with extreme attitude, very bold. In order for us to win people to Christ, we must be loving and kind. We must pray for one another. Pray for them also, because there's a lot of things that's going on right now that I know God is not pleased with. He's not pleased with. People are leaving the churches over being hurt. People are being rejected, being pushed aside. We see it happening. These are end times, and we see it happening at a growing rate. The fear of God has left the church, the people. The fear of God. Some churches, I'm not gonna say all, because you got some churches out here. That's I'm talking about the body of Christ. I'm talking about many different denominations. The ones that are serving Christ, God, that are serving, being a servant. Those and have a better chance of being unified, because they have the attitude of servant. They have an attitude of humility, because they're servant, and they're not caught up in all this stuff. Some of them are not. They're praying. So I'm not a judge or anything, but I'm just explaining to you what I see. What I see. What I see is a great fall in the way. What I see is a lot of bitterness going on in the church and out of the church. What I see, I know I can stand out. I understand outside of the church, because everybody, the ones are not. Uh, Unbelievers are out in the church, but in the church as Christians, in and out of church, there shouldn't be. If you're a Christian, in and out of going, in and out of church, meaning that you should live saved in the church and at your home, on your job. That's what I mean by in and out. And the ones that are out, to my unbelievers, I understand that because they don't have a relationship. Some of them they don't have a relationship. They're not born again believers, so they gonna have these uh, uh, fears, headstrong, puffed up ways. But as Christians, we're supposed to be different. And when we begin to take our eyes off of Christ, when we begin to look another direction, then the devil has your number. The devil has your number, no matter who you are. We have to pray for one another. It can happen to anyone. We can happen to anyone. I mean, right now, the attitudes, they're reaching such extremes, right now. These are critical times to deal with. Some people are so mean. They're mean. They're mean in the church. They're mean. You can be loving, but you just be loving. I mean, the dislike, you can love the person, but you can hate the sin. But you don't have to be disliked toward nobody. In the church, you don't even know the person. And some people have the tendency of not liking someone, or because what they hear someone else say. You're not the judge. You pray for them. You love them. And then the natural affection, talking about again, Second Timothy, the breaking down of the family, the natural affection, the children, disobedient. You raise them up as a child, you bring them to church, you bring them up through the church, and then for some reason, they get older, they go to get out of high school, go to college, and you've been praying, and all of a sudden now they don't want to go back to church because of how they see their family, how they see the husband and wife, how they see what's in the family. When you look at it, some go to college and stuff, and they come back home, and they're obedient. What we talking about, and the disobedient to parents are the ones that are just have no respect for the parents. And the parents, your children are watching you in your home, and they see that it bothers them. And as Christians, we got to be careful because they can say, "Well, I thought y'all were Christian. Y'all, how y'all gonna tell me what to do when y'all ain't doing it?" And then start being disobedient, because we're not making an impact as a husband and wives or as a family. Or in the body of Christ, they looking at us, y'all. The world is looking at us. People are looking at us of how we act, how we behave, what we do with one another. Actions speak louder than words. And one more, the love of God. The love of God. It's growing cold. It's growing cold. We never, in these last days, the lovers of pleasures, lovers of themselves. Second Timothy. Lovers of pleasures, than lovers of God. Long as you're giving me things, material things, and I'm getting treated like a king, and I'm getting accolades. But then, okay, I get to God when I can, but I'm gonna try to get whatever I can get out of it. For me, myself, and I. You know that phrase, right? Me, myself, and I. You hear that a lot, don't you? Me, myself, and I. We hear that a lot. Me, myself, and I. And that's right there is pride. Okay, you have pushed God um, away when you start. It's all about you, but it's supposed to be about God. We for those that's it's about God. We supposed to be a light for a dying world. That God will get all the glory. When people see that we've been a light of the world, a light, a bright light, not a dark light. So these pleasures, these material possessions here are temporal. You can't take this nowhere when you die. The pleasures of this world is temporal. It's temporal. I'm trying to get my words together, y'all. I'm trying to get my words together, y'all. So the pleasures, we see that. Like Moses said. Remember Moses said that? I rather suffer with the people of God, okay, than to enjoy sin. Is it for a season? Yeah. Ain't nothing happening. There's nothing good about when you caught up in yourself. I'm gonna get it. I'm talking here. I want to hear your feedback. I would like to hear your feedback. I'm open. Believe me, everybody learns every day. Everybody learns every day something new. Okay, so I'm open to hear from your comments. I would like for y'all to comment. I really do. Yes, can't catch a break. Can't catch a break. Yes, religious hypocrisy. Oh my God. Religious hypocrisy. Hmm. Yeah, but they appear that they're worshiping God. Hypocrites. You know what a hypocrite is? Religious. Okay, they appear. They living by the standards. But these are false prophets. These are people that's who God knows their heart. God looks on the heart. He knows the hypocrisy. He knows what they're doing. He sees them. And you're going to have people around you that actually appear that they're worshiping God. They serve God. They live by His standards, but they're lying. They're lying. Um, and you're going to know them. You're going to know them. God will not lead you blind. Religious people, but they're not living the truth. The prophecies, in like the book of Daniel, it always talks about the end times. You know, end times. This is Daniel 12 chapter. Read Daniel 12 chapter about the prophecies, the truth, about the knowledge, the prophecy. Meaning we'll gain, increase knowledge about the Bible truth. And there'll be, you will see, you're going to see. You're going to see it. Uh, you're gonna have it, false prophets. You're gonna have those and atheists is rising up. Okay, and we see right now, we see a lot of preaching, global preaching, the good news. He coming back, and it's preached all around the earth. He's coming back. The good news of the kingdom. It's gonna be preached, and God's coming back. God's coming back, people. Are we ready? God's coming back, people. Are we ready? Have you told someone? Have you shared the gospel? Have you been working for God? Have you been doing His will? All of us. All of us. These are the last days. Yes, we are living in the last days. Yes. We see it. It's here. It ain't getting no better. Things are changing. The love of many are waxing worse and worse. Yes. We see the end times here. So we live in the end times and the last days. In the last days, the world is being shaped, and we see how it's been shaped the wrong way. The wrong way. So for all the Bible scholars and the theologians and those that are writing books and presenting the gospel, the Bible is the best source of finding out the truth. We are in the last days. So as I leave you all on tonight, I said tonight, so you can tell as I leave you all, thank you again for listening to Can't Catch a Break. I'm DJ, I'm with Dr. Shar. We thank you so much. And you're gonna hear many episodes of many conversations dealing with issues that affect us all. Yes. So thank you once again for listening to Can't Catch a Break. And I would love to hear from your comments. What do you think? Are we living in the last days? Are these signs of the end times? What are the signs of the last days? I got many questions. I got many. So, okay. All right. So I thank you again. God bless you all. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful, blessed life. Praying for you. We love you with the love of the Lord always. Enjoy your life. God bless.